Chapter 9. Arjun went back to his room and laid down on his bed, thinking about how everything changed in mere moments. One moment, everyone was laughing and chatting away, and the next moment, everyone was crying out of sheer happiness and relief. Ever since Dia's accident, he could sense a profound sadness and fear underlying both his mother's happy facade. The two women had somehow become so close to her in such a short time. It still amazed him as to how the entire family had so much love to give, even to people that weren't their own. He thought about his father, grandfather, and the rest of his family, and how easily they had come to accept him as a part of their family, and never treated him any differently. Especially both the wonderful mothers that the universe had blessed him with, that had loved him just as much as Athena did, or maybe even more than her. And in more ways than one, he had hoped and wished for Dia to fill the void of them not having a daughter of their own. Dia had become an integral part of the Nandas, but more so to the Srivastavas, who had lost their own daughter Anjali to a heart disease when she was just 10 years old. And no matter how hard Indira tried, they couldn't save her, as she was too fragile for her age. He knew how much Varun and Gautam missed her, and how much they see her in Dia. And coming to his grandfather, it wasn't just love and affection that he held in his eyes for Dia, but a quiet admiration for a woman who had been through so much and yet had never given up. He realized that it was not just his life that was affected by Dia, but also how she had so effortlessly become an integral and irreplaceable part of the rest of the family's lives. He kept thinking of how he had felt the first time he had seen her. He felt alive, like he found some part of him that he didn't know he'd lost, and she just completed him without even meaning to, without even trying, like she was his home. He did not know he could feel that way for another person other than his mother who had saved him all those years ago. He closed his eyes and remembered everything about his wife. How she made him feel peaceful instantly, just by existing. He never imagined that he was capable of worshipping a woman, any woman, other than his mother's. Growing up, he saw how his father and his uncle treated both of his mothers with respect, admiration, and most importantly, love. He did not know if what he felt was love, but all he knew was that ever since she came into his life, he felt happier. He wanted to spend more time with her, to share every happiness with her, and wanted to hold her and to feel her in his arms when he was in pain, and would destroy anyone that would dare to hurt her. He wanted to protect her and shield her from any pain that would cross her path. He did not know when he started to have these complicated emotions for a woman he knew so briefly in his life that it almost felt like a dream, like someone had casted a spell on him where he had lost control over his heart. He hadn't realized how much he had changed until his dad and Gautam pointed it out to him. He remembered the conversation they had in the office a few months ago. Dad, bhai, मैं घर जा रहा हूँ, Arjun said, standing up from his desk, buttoning his coat. He looked up to his father and brother, only to see that they were looking at him with a Cheshire grin on their faces. He looked at them, half amused and half exasperated, and asked, "What is it? आप लोग मुझे ऐसे क्यों देख रहे हो?" To which Ashok and Gautam looked at each other and chuckled. "कुछ नहीं, आजकल तुम कुछ बदले बदले से लग रहे हो. हम बस ये सोच रहे थे कि कहीं कोई बात तो नहीं है." Ashok said. "हाँ, कोई दिल वाली बात तो नहीं," Gautam added, smiling widely. "ये सब आप दोनों क्या बोल रहे हो? मैं बिल्कुल ठीक हूँ और मुझे कुछ नहीं हुआ है. I'm just done with my work early. इसलिए मैं घर जल्दी जा रहा हूँ. और कुछ नहीं." Ashok said, a little confused and taken aback by their words. Ashok and Gautam looked at each other with wide grins and then looked back at him. हाँ, इसलिए तो साहबजादे पिछले 1 महीने से हर दिन जल्दी घर वापस जा रहे हैं और हर वीकेंड पे सिर्फ हाफ डे ही काम करते हैं. कहीं ये किसी के वजह से तो नहीं? वैसे ये चेंज अच्छा है. हमें भी काम से थोड़ी जल्दी फुर्सत मिल जाएगी, क्योंकि काम का जो भूत है वो हर वक्त हमारे सर पे तांडव तो नहीं करता रहेगा. चलो कोई नहीं, ये भी अच्छा ही है, Gautam said, and the both of them burst out laughing. Arjun looked at them and shook his head, saying, "Whatever, मैं तो घर जल्दी जा रहा हूँ और मैं माँ और छोटी माँ को बोलूँगा कि आप दोनों को मेरे घर जल्दी आने से प्रॉब्लम है." And he strode out of the room with his head held high and smiling to himself, imagining their faces. Ashok and Gautam looked at each other, shocked and scared. Ashok jumped out of his chair and said, "चल गौतम, ये माँ का लाडला आज हम दोनों को पिटवा कर ही रहेगा." Gautam too gulped and jumped off his chair, saying, "हाँ बड़े पापा, ये दोनों माँओं का लाडला हम दोनों की बैंड बजा के रहेगा." Gautam gulped and jumped off his chair, saying, हाँ बड़े पापा, ये दोनों माओं का लाडला हम दोनों की बैंड बजाएगा आज. चलिए. And followed his uncle, knowing full well that his cousin was more than capable of doing so. Arjun smiled to himself, remembering this incident, a subtle warmth filling his chest. All that is left now is for Diya to get better soon, and for all of them to move on with their lives, fully and wholeheartedly, without feeling that lingering dread of losing a loved one. And with these thoughts, he drifted off into a peaceful sleep. Well, that's all for this chapter, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please leave your feedback in the comment section below, and see you all next week with yet another chapter. Until then, stay safe, take care, and bye.